What is it like working in fast food? I am a person who knows what it is like to work in fast food. So let's describe a fast food chain that, and by the way, that is Red Wolf in the game. Hello to you. We also have traps in the game here too while I'm recording this. Hello. So a typical workplace has a drive-through. It also has, well, here are the basics. You have food. You have service. All right? You have the people who generally tend to serve the customers, usually like one or two people. And then you'll have someone who works primarily on making the food, and those people generally also have to restock the food on where they're making it by accessing the freezer. Then there's also dishes. There's usually someone who takes care of the dishes. Dropping food that needs to be fried. That happens so often, and usually there's a person who ends up going over there. Usually it's someone who works on making the food. So there are probably like there are a couple other things like managers and stuff do more important things like hiring people, typing in computer work, checking stock, checking prices. You have to check labor, and you have to hand out breaks if the store is not making enough money. There's all that. And then there's also rules with like, I think it's all states. I don't even know though, but just a lot of places around the world, there's special rules with if you're a minor and working. So there's also that, and those special rules go against the minor if they want to work a lot and make a lot of money, but the rules are just there in place so that the minor does not get overused, if that makes sense. Overused in the workplace. There's also the drawers they have to deal with and actual physical money. There's stuff like that. And there's much more that goes on in a workplace. Now, here's one thing that I noticed when I first started working. For the first time ever, official job, 2023. What I noticed is that it feels a whole lot different working in the workplace than what I originally just pictured what would be going on at a place like that. I just really didn't know. But then it's like, oh wait, I'm a worker of this company now. That is so cool. It shows a completely different perspective. When you're the one like who works, or like, for example, like in school, there will be chaperones and stuff like that that will like do certain tasks to make like a party or something, or make something fun for the students in the classroom or stuff like that. I actually got to be a chaperone as well. Not an actual chaperone, but I came along to help my mother like back a couple of years ago, a few years back or something. And it just feels a lot different when you're in the perspective, like you're the one who's helping run things. When you are the person who gets served, like the customer, or in my reference here, the student, it just feels normal. It feels like, oh, they're doing that, and though that's so cool, and I'm enjoying myself. But then when you're the actual person setting it up, it is a whole new perspective. I can't exactly describe it, because I don't know. I just can't describe how, like, what it really is. But it's different. It is a different perspective. Now, at least for me, whenever it comes to working, there is a level of stress. Now, the thing is that there's a mindset that you gotta go into work with. Basically, you're working with other people who need money, which is could literally be anybody. Anybody could be just, they want money, so they just start working at the place. There's no specific, like, a certain like fan base, like, oh, Lumber Tycoon 2 fans only work at McDonald's or something. No, like, it makes no sense. No, it's just completely random people. And I am not afraid to say this, but with Gen Z, I mean, Gen Z is good in some ways, and Gen Z is also bad. As for all the other generations, I personally believe that some of the older generations, they're a bit too harsh. Gen Z, I believe they're better at being more sensitive, but certain Gen Z people are too sensitive. And the too sensitive generally comes from Gen Z. The too harsh generally comes from older generations. Stuff like that. So the thing is that when it comes to workplace, there is definitely just like moments that will feel toxic. Now, sometimes there are actually toxic people, but it is also good to have the mindset, like, just see the best in people. It's always good to see the best in people. Yet at the same time, do not be disappointed if they do something to trigger you. These are not your friends necessarily. You're just trying to work in a workplace to get things done where there's stress. So, yeah. The thing that I recommend everybody does is don't get too emotionally attached to anybody in the workplace, because you may find yourself becoming disappointed. Something that I do not like: gossip. I truly believe that if you do gossip, only gossip to a close person or two, or maybe even 3 or 4. That's really about it. Very close and trusted people. Now, with gossip in the workplace, people will just like start throwing names around, and in most cases, it is so unnecessary. You do not need to go on and drag someone's name under the mud just because you don't like a couple of things they said, possibly, or maybe they worked a certain way that might have gotten you a little triggered. You gotta, like, the thing is that remember, well, a message to the people who gossip, and a message to just anybody, really. You gotta understand that everybody is also a human too. There could be a certain situation that somebody is going through. So if there are like situations where somebody may underperform a couple of times or something like that, or maybe they'll do something that makes them look stupid or something, as long as they're overall a good worker, then like if they do way more good than bad, that type of gossip is unnecessary. I mean, I believe all gossip is unnecessary, except for the private gossip, of course. However, if you're just trying to communicate to your coworkers, yes, this person is not properly doing their job, or like tell like a manager or something. And I've actually done this before. If you end up noticing a person, you just know they're clearly not doing their job, and it just starts to annoy you. Now, I'm not a snitch or anything, but it was just blatantly obvious. Like, the person that I told, hey, this person, I don't think they're working, like, they're not taking the job seriously. Everybody kind of knew, but I just wanted to voice my opinion as well to help popularize that, like, yeah, like, you should really consider firing this person. And that person also really, they got on my nerves. They, for some reason, like, they just wouldn't mind their own business about certain things. And then, like, I remember this one time, they were, like, trying to correct me on something that I did wrong. And it was so minor. It was like, it was, if you're watching, by the way, if you're watching this video, I just want to say one thing. I don't hate you. I don't hate anybody, but I believe that you could have some improvement with the way you interact with people. but like literally like just comes up, like just talks to me and like starts talking this one. He goes, oh, you should do that. Like, and they were also like pissing me off earlier that shift too. And it was kind of build up. So I didn't fully snap, but I kind of was like, why does that matter? I'm just trying to do my job here. It's like, you're acting ridiculous. It's bold. I mean, nothing crazy like a big yelling match. I'm just like, knock it off. Knock it off. Like, it's like, it's, come on now. Come on now. Now, if that's the only thing they said the whole shift, that's fine. But like, they were also like pissing me off earlier the shift and doing certain things that just like, it just triggered me, and they're being annoying. They were, oh boy, it wasn't like, so that person, they did not have good work ethic. So that's why I stood up and I'm like, you know, it's like, I'm like, when I did end up working with that person, I would have to do more work, obviously, than if I worked with someone else. So that is why I up and said something. In my opinion, I believe it's all right to snitch if you're working with someone and they pretty much make your job a whole lot harder by not carrying their own weight. It's like, come on. Like, you're getting paid to do nothing or close to nothing, to stand around and talk. So there will be people like that. So you have to prepare yourself. It could be extremely stressful. And there are many moments of me working in my life that came extremely stressful. Another thing is that most times you just want to just back off and not cause any drama. Do not get yourself involved. You are better than to get yourself involved in workplace drama. You really do not need workplace drama, because sometimes it can really be insane. And it's just other people's situations. Do not get involved, or else it'll be emotionally taxing on you as well. Now, here's another thing. When it comes to customer service, you also have to put on a nicer persona in front of them, because there are also certain people who will take things the wrong way, unfortunately. Like, to an extent that it's like, how on earth are you taking that the wrong way? And if any of those people were to be my live stream VC, they would pretty much just get banned from the server. Because it's like, come on. Like, you're creating something out of nothing. That's unproductive to both me and you. And I really believe that, well, no. I know that it'll save us both time, energy, and we'll both have better days if the situation wasn't escalated. But there's people who act like that. They take things the wrong way, unfortunately. And, you know, everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. I get it. And to those people, I say, please try to have a little bit more compassion. I believe it'll be a betterment on you in the long run. It'll save you energy. It'll save you time. I really, really believe that this world would do a whole lot better with no yelling. If there is no yelling in the world would be so much better. If everybody lived like our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, we would have world peace. And everybody would have much happier lives than they do. We are humans. So the best we could do is to try to live your life like Jesus. So whenever you are an employee at work, or if you are someone who happens to have one of these toxic traits, try to live your life how Jesus would live it, and you will find happiness within yourself. Do it. Don't do it for other people. Do it for yourself, and also do it for other people. You cannot help others before you help yourself. Do it for yourself, and then That is also doing it for other people as well. And everything will just be so much happier. Everyone will just have a better day. So we're all imperfect human beings. So you may ask, JB, so is it impossible to achieve world peace? If everybody tries their best into living your life like Jesus, the moments where some of us may not live up to that, I have moments like that. Everybody on the planet has moments like that. But when those moments end up happening, if all the surrounding people lives their lives like Jesus, then they will be understanding enough to not get angry from any like loud outbursts or anything. And situations would be solved a lot quicker. Things would be diffused a lot quicker. And I also understand that sometimes if one person yells at another, the other person will yell back. And that is also part of us being imperfect human beings. But if we all have the mindsets to try to live our lives like Jesus, I really, really, truly believe that we would achieve world peace. When you're working, it is best to say as little as possible. It is best to say as little as possible. Because the unfortunate thing is that most times, if you say too much, things may get chaotic. Because it is a complete random sample. Like, workplaces are a complete random sample of whoever's in the area. There can be, there could literally be, an insane person who basically goes against everything I said in my "we have a huge problem in this world" video. It is best to just stay calm. Another thing, and well, I don't do this in general to anybody, like to the public. I don't flex. I really don't flex. Sometimes a little bit. But usually it's over really small things. If you flex in like a workplace, that just may throw a wrench into the system. Because then there's going to be at least somebody who doesn't like that, and then they'll start talking gossip about you. Start talking crap about you within the gossip. Not talking gossip. They'll start talking crap within. That is gossip. That's the definition. You get what I mean. Whatever. Say things that are just like generally just like non-controversial. Now, I actually do talk politics outside of this YouTube channel. And I do believe that politics could be brought into a workplace. But then again, it's like, it's either, well, if you're going to do that, either be further away from people and out of the way so they don't really pay attention to you, to people you don't know about. But if the people end up being chill, then that's chill. But try to like just like be more of like an agreeable side, you know? Just try to just keep the peace. Be careful. Be careful with what is said. Be careful. Keep the peace. Maybe that should be my next video. Keep the peace. Keep the peace. It is best to keep the peace in most situations. Most situations. There are some situations where it does not quite work out that way. Work hard to make a good impression. Work extremely hard to make a good impression. Do what you're told. Do it right. And everybody will overall be happier. If you sometimes have small talk with other people in the workplace, do what you need to do. Do it right. Do it well. Then people will like you because you're helping them out by doing well. Doing well in the workplace. Now, sometimes you will actually meet people that are actually really chill and you can actually get close to and be comfortable with. In the entire time that I've been working, only like a couple of people. So, not many. That's mostly because, well, the people in the workplace, it's like, I don't really click with on a personal level. You know, it's just like I'm just in a, I don't know, it's just, I just happen to just not naturally click with them. I mean, I still small talk with a lot of people, but like most people from, you know, it's just like most people that I've ever worked with before, it's just like, you know, most of them, I really just don't take things to a friend level. I never really happen to connect with on a friend level. That's most. There are a couple people that are exceptions. That's just me anyway. That's just me and how I am. Now, I could take a different approach, the wanting to make friends and hang out with people approach. And if I wanted to, yeah, fine. I mean, I could if I really wanted to, but it's like, I don't really care. So I don't got to do it. You know, you don't got to do that, you know? It's really just up to you. It's like, well, I mean, do you? Do you want, like, do you naturally click to this person, yes or no? Do you still want to try and be friendly with them and hope to hang out with them sometime? Well, for me, most people, I don't really care. It's like, I got a couple of close friends. I'm not really trying to make new friends. I'm there mostly to work. I'll make small talk. Like, I really just do not care. I have a lot of people that I talk to on Discord, online. I live stream. I record. I don't live stream on JBdrag Motocrossboss really anymore. But going to work does put a lot of stress on you too. That is one thing you also do need to remember. And pretty much everybody does not want to be there. Now, something I heard from one of my work friends. He says Gen Z, like he heard that some Gen Z people like expect work to be fun. And that's surprising. Who expects work to be fun? Never expect work to be fun. If anybody is thinking that mindset, never expect work to be fun. You can look at things positively. You can keep a positive mindset. You can try to have a little bit of fun and be like, ooh, I don't got to do this, or ooh, I get to do this. Thank goodness I didn't want to do this other thing. You know, I'll think like that sometimes, or ooh, the time's passing. I'm excited, right? But don't expect to have fun. Expect to do hard work as well. I mean, you're getting paid. You work hard and you get rewards. Don't expect work to be fun. Expect it to be tough, but attack it face first. What I mean by attack it face first is take on the challenge. Have pride in what you do. And the more pride, the more effort you put into what you do, even though you don't necessarily want to. I mean, I find that the workplace pressure actually pushes me to perform, I'd say at least perform above average at my workplace. At least above average. A little above average. Tiny bit maybe, I don't know. But I get motivated to perform slightly above average. Or a bit above average. I don't know. I do good. That's all I really know. I do good. I do good, and people like the job that I'm doing. If you just put in that more effort, which sometimes it can be hard, but just push through and do it. And then when you make the money, even if a lot gets taken out in taxes, when you have that money, you'll feel proud of yourself. Now, I also understand that some people are in like messed up situations where they literally need money, and money might be like psychologically just like a stressor for them. Like, oh, am I gonna have enough money? Am I not? I understand that. I get it. But a mindset that you can apply to it is like, I'm proud that I made that money. And that is the way you can help motivate yourself to work. You are going to get out of your comfort zone when you work. And the first time you work, it is going to be different. You're going to be shy, but just attack it boldly. Take on the challenge. You will get better, and you will naturally ease into it. When you keep doing the same tasks over and over again, sometimes you might be extremely slow when you start at a job. And you might be feeling demotivated, bad about yourself, whatever. I get that, but don't feel bad about yourself. You eventually get better. You get faster. You get smarter at the tasks that you are doing. And over time, the job does become easier. Not by a lot, but it becomes easier than as to compared to when you're doing everything and you don't quite have just the mental capacity for it. Do not fully emotionally attach yourself to most of the people in the workplace. Have a mindset of I don't care what goes on, because there will be some jokers in the workplace that will act ridiculous, and they can really like upset you if you let them get to your head. But remember, it's just like humans are humans. Humans act a certain way. That's all right. I know I'm doing a pretty good job. I honestly don't care. And as of recently, I've actually like pushed more into that mindset. So it's good to have that mindset. I don't really know what else I can say for this video. I better end it here. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you guys got good advice. Goodbye.